Hello, beautiful people. Nancy here, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about the issue that I have with some of Instacart's higher paying batches. Before I get into this video, like always, please just go ahead and make sure you subscribe, and let's get right to this video. Now, in my last video, I talked about how to basically locate high paying batches with gold mine stores, and that's great. But I want to talk about what batches you should not be accepting, even though they are higher paying. Sometimes Instacart will reel you in with a higher paying batch, but once you read more of the details of the batch, it's not worth taking, right? It's actually you working at a loss in a lot of ways. Let's just use an example, right? So a batch for like $50, it's gonna require you to drive 80 miles, right? To go and get like 100 items. Like that doesn't, even though it's a higher paying batch, it doesn't make sense for you to accept that, because at the end of the day, you're driving 80 miles just to go and pick, so 40 miles both ways, right? Because where you're driving, you don't live there. You're literally going there to go shop. So you're driving 40 miles to get to the store. You have to shop these items. Sometimes it's like 80, 90, 100 items. And then you have to drive back, deliver the items to the customer, and then drive back for $50. Now, $50 might seem like a lot of money, but to do all of that, it's not worth it. I would see those batches a lot. And I'm like, I'm not taking that. Like, I'm not taking that. And there's sometimes I'll see it and I want to accept it really quickly. And I have done it before where I accept it really quickly. And then I look at the details. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. But I try not to do that all the time because your cancellation rate it shouldn't get too high. But just keep in mind that when you do see a lot of these batches that say $50, $60, $70, just sometimes they're not great. You want to wait for batches that you see for $40, $50, $60 that, you know, you only driving out maybe at the most 10 miles, right? You only getting what at the most 30, 40, 50 items, something like that is more, you know, reasonable for you to accept. And that's Instacart will do that. And I think about their more ways to earn email when they said that they were going to basically bump up the pay for batches that were further out as far as like driving distance. But Instacart, that's not enough. For me, I personally don't believe that that is enough. Like for you to be like, okay, you can drive 80 miles, 70 miles to make $40, $50, $60. I just don't think that that is enough, right? And not even just to drive, you still have to go and shop the order as well. That is one of the issues that I have with Instacart's higher paying batches, is that it just seems like it's just not, it doesn't seem like a reasonable, beneficial choice to make, to take that particular batch or some of these batches. A lot of these batches will, you know, be of excessive amounts of items, which I personally don't take either. That's another thing I don't really like with some of Instacart's higher paying batches as well. Some of these batches will have like 13 cases of water. Like, look, who is picking up 13 cases of water? Okay. Like, my man's at work. Who's picking up 13 cases of water? The issue that I do have with some of Instacart's higher paying batches, also some of the higher paying batches will say they include heavy pay, and the heavy pay will be like a couple dollars, which I'm like, okay, whatever. Now, in the event that I injure myself, what does the coverage look like? So these are all different questions that you have to ask yourself, because a lot of these higher paying batches, I call them a skip. It's like, nah, I'll pass on that. Like, I'll just pass on that, because it doesn't make sense for me to take it when I weigh out everything. Is that y'all's experience? Have y'all had experiences with Instacart where you see a high paying batch, but you pass it up because you're like, it doesn't make sense for me to take this? So it's pretty common. When I see like a $52 batch, $60 batch, it's usually sometimes going out 40 plus miles. Okay. And I do live in a city that's pretty much spread out, right? But I'm not driving that distance. I'm not doing it, you know, but somebody else will, you know. And I just want Instacart to modify it a little bit more, and not requiring people to drive so far out to basically get these higher paying batches. What higher paying batches is that they're too far out, and a lot of the items are too bulky and too heavy. But again, whatever. You know, I like to look at things from more of a practical lens, because it doesn't make sense from a shopper's point of view to accept these batches, even though they are higher paying than a lot of other ones. I will gladly skip these batches up when I see them. I will gladly skip them because it doesn't make sense for me to take them. But what is y'all experiences? Do y'all take these batches when y'all see them? Be very, very careful with your cherry picking. Make sure that you're very, very diligent with your cherry picking, because you don't want to take a batch that you see for like $50, but then you have to drive like 60 miles. You know what I'm saying? So just be very cautious with, you know, how much you have to drive in order to get this money. I wanted to hear from some of y'all who currently do Instacart. Do you, when you see batches, you know, because I would think that people weigh it out. Like, is it worth taking? Is it not worth taking? Are you someone who does that? Or are you like, whatever, I don't care. Like, I see $50, I'm taking it. I don't care if I got to drive to freaking Timbuktu, I'm taking it. You know, I don't care if there's 20 cases of water on it. I don't care. I'm taking it. Because I know there's some people out there that are like that, but like, I just want to comment. Like, I want y'all to comment and like let me know y'all's experience with that. Like, are you they kind of Instacart shopper where you don't care? You just like, whatever, I'm gonna take it. Like, as long as it's over $30, I don't care what it requires. I'm just gonna take it, because there are some shoppers that are like that. I just feel like it's really important to be smart when you're using the app, because if not, Instacart will take advantage of its shoppers. And I believe that is one way to take advantage, because it's like, you know what I mean? Like, some people might not think to do the math. Like, okay, wait a minute, I'm driving this far out to make this much, which, well, technically I gotta buy the gas, so I only make this much, you know. I really only make $20 or $15 off of it. So you just gotta really balance it out, do the math, and see what works for you as far as what you take on the app. But other than that, there are some really good higher paying batches that don't require you to basically work at a loss. You just have to strategize and be able to choose those so that you can walk away with more earnings every single week. But that is a problem that I do have with some of Instacart's higher paying batches. It catches your eye and you want to take it, but then when you read the details of it, it's almost like, ha 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 ha, gotcha. I would like to hear your experience. What is your thoughts on a lot of higher paying batches? Have you know, had good experiences with them? Do you take them, or do you kind of just you take some higher paying batches but they're not as frequently? Or you see a lot of higher paying batches, but it's not worth it? Like, comment below and let me know your thoughts. And I would love to hear from you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate you guys so much. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.